Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl Nay.
So how's everything been going?
Pretty good. I've been super tired lately. Getting back to working out again. Haven't been to the gym yet, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go or not because from what I've heard, they haven't really made any significant changes, and that makes me angry. So I'm like, I pay this fee every month. I expect there to be some sort of precautions being taken, especially at a gym, because gyms are naturally hotbeds for germs and shit. So I expect y'all to be extra cautious. And so I don't know. I'll figure it out though. I guess I keep working out in my parents' garage because they have workout equipment. So I gotta scoop over there for a while and work out in their garage. But aside from that, been cool. What about yourself?
That's good. Well, it's been good. Nursing myself back to health. Had out of all things to get from dodging a coronavirus, I picked up a stomach virus. So yeah, they put me down for a lot of days. I would say a few days, but a lot of days. But other than that, I'm feeling better. So yay.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you are feeling better. And got over your stomach bug. Cause man, I know the stomach bug is people really do thinking because it's just like the stuff, but the stomach bug really is one of those sicknesses that suck. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Because it's nothing. When I had to go to the emergency room, and the lady was about 6 or 7 of their nurses had already left with it. I was like, Jesus. So yeah, and it's nothing you can do. It's just drink fluids as much as you can and rest. Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
Exactly. It's just one of the most irritating sicknesses. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these hot topics for this week. I guess we can start off with happy news, I guess. Emily B. Fabulous are expecting a baby girl. Quarantine baby. Yeah. Congratulations. Listen. Hey. I mean, that's all you can say. Listen, babies are a blessing, and congratulations.
I mean, that much is true.
So, yeah.
I
don't have much.
That's it.
That's all we got for that one. That's all we got. Okay. I'm trying to see any other before we jump into the mess. Any other happy news? That's all I saw.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into. For these past couple shows have been mad political. I hate them being super political, but that's really pretty much all that's been dominating the headlines as far as everything is concerned. So, kind of following back into that train, the Trump rally that occurred in was it Ohio? No, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yep.
It was definitely not the numbers that he anticipated or expected. A lot of that is due to these Gen Zers are out here slaying. Okay, they went and they did their whole little TikTok campaign and was buy up a bunch. Well, they didn't even buy up, but it's let me get a bunch of these little tickets for the thing and not show up. So yeah, needless to say, he did not do the numbers that he expected to do.
And what actually makes it worse that even though they went and registered for all those tickets, there's literally a limitless number. So even for the day of, if people would have showed up, they still would have let them in because they considered it a free seat until somebody take it. So be like, bro, you really had 6,000 people in this stadium. That's it.
Oh, damn. That's oh, well.
So I'm like, it really makes it worse when you think about like, yeah, people want to register for the tickets to make it seem like you was gonna have a big turnout, but at the same time, there's still just all the people that showed up, because if other people would have showed up, or you could have still got on there and registered for tickets, it wasn't like a sold out thing.
Right.
So it makes it worse.
Yes, listen, people starting to realize when you do clownery.
And the crazy thing about it, I saw today, like from that conference where he called it Kung Flu, just really ignorant. And the lady was like, his press secretary was like, well, he didn't say like a racist remark. Yeah, he did. Or he didn't say that. Yes, he did. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, okay, y'all are just being weird at this point. Like, we don't have ears and we can't hear him.
I bet you he wishes that we couldn't hear that. Whole mess, a mess and a half. And I just saw today where he enacted an executive order where he's denying all work visas. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Which is tragic, because I was reading like immigration stats, and like applications are already down like 61%. So, and they're so far down that the organization that actually processes the applications, they're going to have to close soon if the government doesn't give them help.
Yeah.
Because they make their money off of fees.
Yeah.
So it's just tragic. And I'm like, I don't know if people like that applause. It's like, yeah, we're going to keep people out. Be like, so who going to work at y'all amusement parks? Y'all know they bring people from like European countries to work at amusement parks even.
Exactly. I want to see all these people who applauding it. How many of y'all gonna work the jobs that a lot of these folks was working?
Are not. And I'm like, even when you think about like, yeah, you have those like smaller jobs or whatever you want to call them. I still think they're high skill, because when you're working with people, it definitely takes skill. But I'm like, when you think about other things like doctors, chemists, we don't have the talent pool for that.
Because we make education so fucking high, can't nobody do it.
So I'm like, what the heck? Okay. So I just want to see how this gonna go.
I mean, that's the crazy thing about this in the country. We have a shortage of doctors, but med school's so hot that people are like, well, do I want to go in debt forever or go to med school? Because a lot of people think too that once you go to med school that your bills are automatically, all that debt that you acquire is automatically paid for. But needless to say, speak to a doctor and they'll tell you a lot of them are still in debt and they've been working for 4, 5, 6, 7 years heavy. So just saying, it's like one of those situations where it's like, yeah, doctors make a lot of money, but they have just as much student debt as everybody else.
If not more, because when you think about it, you got undergrad for a lot of us, or a lot of people took out loans for undergrad. Then you get grad middle. How do you make it? And so you can't necessarily be in med school and pick up work. Some people do, but some people can't. And I was like, I know at least for a few nursing programs, I'm pretty sure there's some program like medical programs for doctors. Like I know, like the local university here, if you're in a nursing program, you couldn't work.
Yeah. And that is a lot of med schools actually, they tell you when you're in med school that you shouldn't work just because it's such a rigorous, curriculum that they don't really want you to work. They want you to focus on it, learn to really be a doctor, which we obviously need. Hello, we've seen the numbers for Black women, especially during labor, who are dying. We definitely need y'all asses to be out here focused and studying on becoming a doctor and actively practicing saving people's lives as opposed to, racially discriminating against them. But anywho, that's a little off topic. I'm sorry, I went on my little rant. What else we got here? Jump into our next, I guess since we are talking about, Black women kind of being ignored and period, like it's just irritating me. at this point. First and foremost, I do want to say Breonna Taylor, her murderers still have not been brought to justice. Only one of the police officers who murdered her has been actually fired, and I feel like he was more fired because he was accused of sexual assault more than for killing her. So yeah, I'm a little agitated about that. And then we also saw the Black Lives Matter activist. She was only, didn't they say she was only like 19?
Yeah, she was 19 and homeless. Like, I don't know. Couldn't even imagine.
But she was murdered pretty much right after she went on and said that she had been been sexually assaulted during around near one of the rallies. Just complete tragedy. Tragic. Something that bugs me though is that I'm irritated with us when it comes to these rallies and protests. We really need to be out here protecting each other, looking out for each other. We should not be hearing stories at all in spaces that we are occupying where our young people or, folks that are our people are being assaulted, harmed, you know what I mean, in any way. We shouldn't be getting those stories. It shouldn't be happening.
Definitely. And I read like an article, which I shouldn't have read, of course, but I was like, I'm going to read it because I just wanted to, like, I guess know what happened. And it went into too many details. I was like, I mean, I just felt horrible because I'm like, who? I don't know. I was like, of course she shouldn't have been outside because I'm like, she's only 19. And I mean, the way that he even killed her, like the older white lady, you put her body under a sheet, but you put this young black girl body just under a pile of leaves in the backyard.
Horrendous.
Like, no dignity even in death.
Horrendous. But to that, to that kind of speaking to that, we do see that the person who did murder her, black man, was arrested, is being held accountable. I'm just saying, those roles were reversed. I don't know. It's just one of those things because we keep seeing people pop up with the made up black on black crime. We've seen that call again after the horrendous acts that took place in Chicago over Father's Day weekend. All of the shootings that took place, we've seen that whole spiel pop up again about how we always talking Black Lives Matter, but we don't care when this blah blah blah. So it just goes to show kind of how sometimes we can be our own worst enemy as well. Y'all, at least if you have done enough reading or you spend enough time just doing your own research, that black on black crime is a myth. It's the same as white on white crime, Asian, you know what I mean? But they don't use those terms. It's only when it refers to black people that we have come up with this term of black on black crime. And as far as the shootings and all the things that take place in our neighborhood, when have we ever ignored it? There's tons of organizations. You can literally go on Google. There's tons of organizations against, that were started by us, by the way, against stopping the violence that occurs in our neighborhoods as far as gang violence. I'm saying the whole folks who are trying to put an end to the Stop Snitching campaign. I mean, just all kinds of programs that we created in our own neighborhoods in order to get justice for people when these type of senseless acts occur. So it just irritates me when that's used as a narrative to deter from the idea of police and people of authority basically senselessly killing innocent black folks. You know what I mean?
And that's what I expect it from racist people. But it hurts, like it boils my blood when I hear black people, well, what about black on black crime? Or we won't get no respect until we start respecting ourselves. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, even if you broke it down by statistics, which I don't, this is just me personally, and it could be a conspiracy. I definitely think we're more than 12% of the population. That's number one. But I'm like, even when you break it down by statistics and you look at the number of murders, it's like less than 1% in most cases. Even if black people, like, what are you getting at? And I'm like, if you have a lot of poor people in one area that's lacking all of these resources, what do you think will happen? No jobs, no crime.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like you said, it's just one of those things that, boils my blood, just completely irritates me to no avail. Also, sticking with the Black Lives Matter protests, and we saw that Rashad Brooks, the gentleman in Atlanta who was murdered in the Wendy's parking lot, I believe, he was laid to rest today, or he had a public viewing, I believe. Go ahead.
I was just saying that's correct. His public viewing was today.
Yeah. So, obviously, rest in peace to that gentleman. We've seen that the person who set the Wendy's on fire, a white woman, apparently police are saying that was his girlfriend who set the blaze to the Wendy's, to the Wendy's that he was murdered at. Needless to say, I'm just saying, I haven't seen a lot of that story make headlines. I feel like they rather push the narrative that it's black folks who are burning places down, but who am I? But yeah.
But I also find it convenient that they're saying it's his girl. This is like the second, because like George Floyd, I don't know if you remember, they put his white fiance, quote unquote, on TV, but they were saying he had a black girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And then this man has a black wife, but you saying his white girlfriend. You know what? Okay.
Like I said, it's these stories, boy, they be seeming real convenient. But that's the conspiracy theorist in me. I can't. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all of my theories, but yeah, we can take that however we want to take it. Needless to say, we saw who set the fire, and it wasn't black folks. So.
Right. And I've said this before, for a lot of white people, they are living out their anti-police, anarchist dreams, and it's not really about us.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it, and that's what it's about. Yep. And it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's not about, I really, understand your cause. It's just, okay, if it makes the police job hard or whatever, or I can get it to be against the law, then that's what I'm going to do. So
I guess, again, kind of staying in that realm, we've seen a lot of companies, I guess, realizing that black people exist and deciding to do rebranding.
Listen, or they, even if they knew, like, we had feelings about this before, but okay.
We saw it with Quaker Oats. They've announced that they are doing away with the Aunt Jemima brand. We've seen where Uncle Ben's is changing, trying to do a rebranding. Cream of Wheat. I mean, Eskimo pies. There's tons of different companies, I guess, that are just now, realizing. I guess I don't really know the concept behind it, but a lot of them are going through and changing images and things like that should have been removed, should have been changed, but hey.
And I just feel like at this point, but we just asked for, it's fine. I'm not going to knock it, but I'm like, well, we asking for justice. We asking for police reform. I mean, okay.
I agree. I do though want to say, because I saw an article where they said the family of the actress who posed for Aunt Jemima is upset about her being removed, and they said that they feel like it's erasing their legacy. And I'm confused because I'm like, for one, I don't even know the name of the actress who posed for the picture.
Didn't even know she was an actress. I just thought that it was just a random person.
And then number two, from what I've read, y'all wasn't even paid for it. Y'all had to sue Quaker and y'all lost the lawsuit.
Yep.
I'm really trying, because I'm saying, I never want to go against my people, but I'm really trying to understand, like, what legacy?
That's why I was like, I just thought it was like random racism that they just got a black person and just put them on the box. So I saw that. That was like her legacy. I'm like, but what legacy? And again, like you said, not to downplay it, but it's like, but what legacy though, sweetheart? Like,
because I mean, it'd be one thing if we knew who it was, like we knew her name, but like people are literally referring to it as Aunt Jemima's grandkids or something like that, and I'm just like, I don't really think that was her name.
People so disrespectful.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and so that's why I'm like, I listen. I can't. Oh.
And that's what I don't like. I don't get for the life of me. It's like, oh, like I said, I don't think it's anything wrong with the rebranding and even the name, because the name is derogatory when you think about it, and the creation of it. But I mean, and even with that, her legacy still stands even longer because of the controversy behind it. And we now saying, oh, this lady really has a name on this box.
Yeah.
So it's like, child, let some folks remove that name and move on. Be like, y'all just, and hate to say it, but like, just say you want the coins, and you haven't got the coins. So why you just want your grandmother, great grandmother, whatever image just still being exploited and used, and you're not even making the coins off of it, because technically it's her image. She should be getting royalties. Her family should be getting royalties. Mm-hmm. So it's like, girl, let them remove that light off their box.
Big facts. Yeah.
But just going to that, I read some comments when they was talking about the rebranding. And of course, one white lady got on there and was like, when I never looked at the box and saw a color. I just saw a woman and that wanted to feed her kids and cook. Bitch, what?
Oh, child.
I'm like, y'all be killing me. Talking about what you didn't see color, and it's a whole black ass lady on this box.
Child, listen, the links they go to listen, I can't. That's all I can say. I can't. Oh, a hot mess.
Girl, please. Well, I saw color. As soon as I saw it, it's a black lady on this box.
Facts. But yeah, like you said, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I mean, I get it. It's long overdue, and so if they want to do it now, then more merrier to them. But it's not going to deter or distract from what we're looking for, which is police reform. You know what I mean?
Right. And I just want to put it out there when people like defunding the police is like they are getting all the money taken away from it. That's not it. First of all, me personally, the whole thing needs to be like literally tore down to not even a foundation, just burn it all down and just start a whole, because what you have now is not working, especially when you see people that are quitting in support of police brutality. You have officers that are quitting because they're now being scrutinized and saying, okay, you're wrong. And people are calling you out on you being wrong. And y'all are crying like babies for treating people wrong.
Basically.
So I'm like, defunding the police is not saying, hey, let me take all the money away from you. But you have departments that are operating billion-dollar budgets that's really not needed.
Yes.
I'm like, even here in our own city, you have officers that are sitting on the side of the road, sleep, haven't stopped a car probably in hours, texting, people still doing 95 on the highway. What are you here for? And you're probably clocking overtime.
Big facts.
So you can defund education. You can defund the police department.
Yeah. That's why I really, like last week, I really stressed the idea of doing your own research. Because I think a lot of times people see, buzzwords, this or that, and the other, see little blurbs on the internet, and they think that they understand what something's about. And that's just not the case. That's why I say it's so important for you to do your own research. Because I feel like if you do your own research, as far as like with defund the police, having done my own research, I was able to figure out, okay, I get where they're coming from. I get what it's saying. I understand what it's meaning. Whereas a lot of people, like you said, just think that it's about taking all the money away or getting rid of the police completely, this, that, and the other. In some instances, that's what they're calling for. But in a lot of them, in most of the instances, they're just calling for them to remove these, like you said, billion-dollar budgets that they are receiving and use some of those funds to go back to the communities that they are supposed to be serving.
And that's why I was like, like I said, when you think about departments, like, oh, these people are clocking, because I'm like, you have some departments, some officers are clocking $100,000 salaries, but over half of it is overtime.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no way possible that you are effectively patrolling the streets and you've been doing double shifts every day. Not possible.
Yeah, that's true. And not to mention all the departments who have these huge budgets for body cameras, yet conveniently don't have body cameras.
And can't train their officers to keep them on when they're doing fucking police work.
Big facts. Hell, I live right now in our city. They just actually, instead of defunding the police, they gave them an even bigger budget to buy body cameras that they've been promising for the past, I don't know how many years, and they still, even with the bigger budget, still haven't. Like, we still don't see body cameras. They're still non-existent. I'm confused. I'm just saying, where's the money going?
Listen, like, there's no surplus, like, no years, because you're not using it for what you're supposed to use it for. So, yeah.
But we shall see. We shall see, as we, continue to see more and more conversations happening, more and more protests still taking place, still occurring. We shall see what actually comes of all of this, if we will actually start to see some real change as far as police brutality and tearing down systematic racism. We shall see. Mm-hmm. Before we jump away from that whole situation, I do want to let's speak on the J.Cole and NoName situation. We saw where NoName put up a tweet where she was basically saying that she said your favorite rappers make millions off of talking about the struggle, but when there's actually stuff occurring, they're nowhere to be found. To which then she quickly removed the tweet because it was surfaced, obviously video surfaced, because obviously it was directed towards, now we know, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Video surfaced of them being at protests, out in their cities or whatever like that. But obviously, from what people in North Carolina were saying, J. Cole said he wasn't taking any pictures. He didn't want, didn't want to be on video, blah, blah. Same thing with Kendrick. So she did that. Then J. Cole put out a song kind of referring to the situation, going at her, saying that, he's not as educated about things, and could she, instead of tearing him down or attacking him, educate him more, blah, blah. Then she put out a response saying that, just because I read and this, that, and the other. Now they're both kind of sort of backtracking. Like, he says he stands by everything that he said, but he's up to always hearing conversations and talking about things where people think that he's wrong. He's open to that. She says that she should not have responded to it at all because it did exactly what she said. Him putting out the song, and everybody else said him putting out the song, that it detracted from the movement. What are your thoughts?
So I feel like, as far as J. Cole about the teaching part, why is that her responsibility to teach you when you have, at this point, you have the time, money, and resources? So if you really wanted to learn, I guess for me, like, I'm tired of Black women, like, carrying that torch. Like, I have to sit down and teach you about the struggle. And why you didn't require the same from your mama? You want this Black woman to sit down and teach you, or a Black woman to sit down and teach you, but why you didn't ask your mama to sit down and teach you? So I guess that was like one of my biggest things. And I do think for me, it didn't take away. And I hate when people like, oh, it takes away from the movement, because I'm like, it makes us kind of seem like we're simple ass people.
Right.
And be like, it wasn't that big of a fucking distraction where I'm like, oh, okay, that little squabble, whatever going on. It's not like they fought each other in the middle of the street or something like this. It's just you had words that you can't, and like you can't focus on multiple things at once. And then it just goes back to like I said, like we're simple people, we're easily distracted. It's like, oh, look over there, we're not looking at this anymore. When like that's not the case. Like I just don't like when people say that, or like, well, we got too much going on, or you can't at this moment be critical of another Black person. Like, no, I'm still going to hold you accountable, even though we're struggling.
Right.
So that was pretty much it for me. I know, like when I first read it, I'm like, did he let DJ Academics like boost his head up to respond to this girl? But okay. But yeah.
I mean, so for me, I didn't like either. You know what I mean? I didn't like that the tweet was fired off to begin with. I definitely didn't like J. Cole's response. I'm with you. It was definitely a little misogynistic. The undertone of it was misogynistic in terms of, feeling as if like you said, as if it's Black women's job to educate the world. It's not, we shouldn't have to hold y'all hands. It's 2020. There's a whole Google. Get your ass on Google. You can read the same books that you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's not our responsibility. But at the same time, I also do not like this whole notion that because someone is a celebrity or because someone has empathy or compassion, that means that they have to, you know what I mean? That they have to speak out about it. I mean, listen, say what you want, but J. Cole and both Kendrick have not only spoken about it on record, but they've been present in the movement in their own ways. We've seen consistently where they've actually been out in the streets in protests, even if they're not actively posting it on social media. So, I mean, I don't like either notion, but I'm with you again. I don't see how it distracted from the movement at all. If anything, it just brought a conversation that needs to be had. I mean, we can have, like you said, we can have conversations amongst each other without it supposedly distracting from the movement. Like you said, we're not simple. We are intelligent people, and we can have these conversations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, like, I don't know. I guess for me personally, I will say, like, for my favorite people, I'm not even gonna lie. I've even went to like some of my favorite designer pages or like shoe brands just to see what they have said. So I will say, me personally, I can't speak for I have looked for like, okay, my favorite actors, blah, what have you said? Because if not, I can no longer support you because this is something that's big to me. It's detrimental for our community. So if you can't speak out on it, I don't have anything else to give to you.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I can get it. I think for me, I don't look to these folks to speak because a lot of them, when they speak, it's like, you shouldn't have spoke. You shouldn't have. like
you sit there and ate your food.
Like I would prefer actions more than some of y'all.
Yeah, be like, just donate to the bail fund, because what you just said was like, and a lot of celebrities, and I think we've seen it when the movement was like hot. Not saying it's not hot now, where you like get on there, and you like, what the fuck? Like when you think about like T.I. and all this, be like, what?
Girl, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I prefer action than a lot of y'all speaking, because a lot of y'all, it's not for y'all. It's not for y'all. Don't do it.
And I think that's when like that classism kind of seeps out, like where it's like, boom, they're in your face. Because it's all about like money, capitalism, and not like, listen, yeah, you may thrive, but it's also thriving off of Black people, the death of Black people. So I just, like, I agree with you on it. Like, something just shut the But like I said, most of them like shut the fuck up. I think John, is it Boyega? Boyega? He about the only one that I'm like, look at that king energy right there. Everybody else, I'm like, if you ain't coming like he coming, then just be quiet.
Yeah. Because I mean, we've seen where it's kind of destroyed a lot of. Where I'm not one of those people who I'm just gonna throw my folks out, but I'm definitely side eyeing a lot of y'all asses. Like, I mean, listen, Trina had how long of a run? How many years? A lot of us been supporting Trina, like all the unproblematic queen. Trina wasn't out here bothering nobody. She ain't fighting with the girls. And then just in a heartbeat, I was like, damn it, Trina.
When I still be like, bro, what made her say that shit?
Listen, that's what I'm saying. It hurt my damn it, Trina.
And then when you get Trick Daddy, the most ignorant, crispy, crunchy, like moon, and I can't stand him for other reasons. But when you get him like, hey, maybe you shouldn't say that. You get him saying, like, bro, be quiet. Ooh. Like you realize got on TV or radio talking about something. I got license registration issue. Okay, and so did Philando Castile. Your point you made that was
exactly.
And I'm like, I ain't never been aside of the time that I wanted to be on Kaya's side, but I'm like, damn, this fucked up. Exactly. Look at the predicament you leave us at now.
That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all just need actions, no words. Actions, no words. Because once y'all get to speaking, no. But
like this. Oh, and they're like when she was like animals, I'm like, girl, you talking about your friend's store? Like, for the whole thing of me, like the whole time, people like insurance. People's stores were, bruh, get insurance.
That should be one of the first things you do as a
right. Get some fucking insurance.
And I love to see a lot of those Black business owners who are saying, I mean, we just rebuild. We got this. You know?
Right.
They understood the moment. They understood the moment.
Oh, yeah, I don't. Ooh, Trina. Oh, ooh. It's how I think about that.
I'm sorry for bringing you back to that one. Sorry.
Listen, I'm going to tell you how appalled I was. I had to go and read it and listen to it for myself because I'm like, I know damn well Trina Black ass didn't say this. I'm like, I know she did. And then the more and more I read, I'm like, she said this?
Child, tell me.
And then other stuff started coming out where they was like, she been anti-Black and blah, 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 because she said she wasn't completely Black. She was Dominican. Her daddy people came out and was like, that was a lie. I was like, what? You know what? Let me just click off the internet.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Actions are not words. Because once we start to see people speaking, then we actually start to dive. We're like, damn. So, yeah.
Like, rooting for you.
I guess looking at the list, I saw on there. Have you seen popping up on Twitter a lot of these little anonymous accounts that literally like same day popping up and they're just like throwing out these accusations, almost like they're just pulling straws. And they're like, today I'm going to accuse so-and-so of sexual assault and put on this whole little story on Twitter just to get it trending. It's becoming weird. Like, I think yesterday we saw Justin Bieber. Today we seen like 5 or 6 members of the Riverdale cast. Who knows who we're going to see tomorrow? I don't know. It's becoming disturbing.
And I was like, that's really one thing. I'm like, just please don't, because we are like rape victims, sexual assault victims already get enough heat from not being believed. Just don't do that.
Exactly. That's the part that irritates me the most, because it's like rape victims, sexual assault victims go through so much. And like you said, it's so hard for them when they have their story, they tell their story, for them to actually be believed. And so for you to have these, it's almost like, I don't know if these kids are like trolling or looking for, well, it can't even be clout because they're posting it anonymous or whatever like that. At this point, I really think that, I mean, we've seen a lot of the celebs saying that they're going to get local authorities involved. I think Twitter needs to step up as well. And start, you know what I mean, saying when stuff like this starts popping up, like, because it just don't sit well with me. Because like I said, I do not like sexual assault. Rape is not something to be toyed with. It's not something to be played with. Women have a hard enough time as it is. Women and men. Let me apologize for that, because men also go through it as well, and they aren't believed as well. So women and men have a hard enough time going through this. Through sexual assault and rape and all of that. So let's not with the bullshit.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm just hoping, like, I saw the Justin Bieber yesterday, and I was like, I wasn't mad at him because I'm like, baby, boy, pull all his receipts.
He pulled all of them. Okay. He was not playing.
So, and I was like, I appreciate that. And I was like, I appreciate his prompt response, because, you know, some of them responses be a little awful. You be like, okay, we'll see. But listen. Yeah, I just need for them to stop doing it.
Yeah, it's not a game. It's not a joke. None of us find it funny. So cut the bullshit. What else you got?
That's all for me, I think.
Well, the last thing that I have on the agenda is, have you seen where J.K. Rawling is kind of coming under fire a little bit because of her stance as far as against the transgender community? A lot of the stars of Harry Potter have kind of come out and made statements saying that it's not okay for the things that she's saying in regards to the transgender community. And because of that, you're seeing a lot of them receiving a lot of backlash as well. They've been called everything from spoiled millionaires to saying that they should be grateful to JK because she made them famous. Listen, what are your thoughts?
I didn't actually see that. Well, I saw like a mention of it. I didn't go into it because I'm like, I don't read their products or anything like that. Yeah, so I don't know what happened.
Well, I guess for me, what I think on that situation is, I think that, for one, I don't understand why they're being attacked for kind of speaking against J.K. Rowling. Just because I work for you doesn't mean that I have to share your opinion. You know, it doesn't make them spoiled millionaires because they think differently from her. I also, as in regards to JK, I don't think it ruins Harry Potter for anybody. I mean, we've seen countless times there are people who say, like listen, with Trina, she said some really crazy ass things, like so we've seen that come from celebrities and different types of people where they say a bunch of crazy type shit, and so it is what it is. I just don't get why they all can't, they can't have their opinion against, not be the same as hers just because, just because they work for her. Like, I don't understand that mindset, but it is what it is in that. And I also do not understand this concept in regards to transgender, particularly like where the venom from women comes from, because I don't understand how a trans woman erases your womanhood.
Yeah, I never get that either. When people are like, well, they're not a real woman, blah. And I think it actually, for me, it kind of makes it, I don't know, when you put like, oh, well, you can't have a child and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but there are women, if you're putting it in that context, there are women that you sit next to, that you work around, that you hang out with every day that can't have children. And that's what you're basing womanhood on. It's like things that you really shouldn't base it on, because not every woman that, if you want to say, okay, born with a vagina, can do that.
That's true.
So I'm like, I don't know, and I just never been in come be like, oh, transgender woman competition. Like, what competition? I mean, I don't get it.
I don't get it. I think that it in all honesty, I think it just goes back to insecurities. Because a lot of those same women who spit all that venom at trans women also spit all that venom at cis women. So you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it goes back to insecurity. Like, I've never understood the concept of it's a erasure of your womanhood and this, that, and other. Like, huh? What? Whatever. I guess a lot of people's issues is because they say cis women, so because they put cis in front of it. Listen, I don't know. A lot of y'all get caught up on words and I don't. But I won't pretend to kind of get or understand that mindset. But I just definitely, I feel like we got to at least start talking about it. You know what I mean? We have to start going into these debates and talking about these subjects and situations because we are seeing a lot of kind of influx of, in my opinion, a lot of influx or hate towards, the trans community. We're seeing a lot of influx and hate toward, well, we've always seen against the LGBTQ plus community, in particular, Black LGBTQ plus community. So I definitely, anytime we can have these conversations, I think we need to start talking about it and start having them because as a Black person, and I know that Falan, you also have said this too, homophobia runs rampant in the Black community. And y'all can try to pretend and act like it doesn't, but the truth, we've seen the truth. We know the truth. A lot of us have grown up and heard comments, and you know what I mean? So the more we can have these conversations, I think the better.
And that's what, for the life of me, I don't know, I don't get it. Like, y'all be acting like, people be acting like they gotta sleep with the people or choose that as their sexuality. Be like, but you don't. And no one ever asks you if you agree with it. That is the killer part for me when people like, I don't agree with their lifestyle. When did they ever ask you for an agreement?
Exactly. And then,
I'm heterosexual, and I'm not finna ask you if you agree with my lifestyle. You can kiss my ass. Like
I don't care if you with who I'm spending my life with, I don't know. Like I said, y'all, I really, really, really want us to start having those conversations more, though, because I just see so much bile and venom spit at, the transgender community, at Black queers, at Black gays. It's just something we got to start talking about. We have to start having those conversations. We can't keep sweeping it under the rug. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be, we shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? I've seen more hatred for Black gay folks than for pedophiles. Like, that's, to me, that's unacceptable.
Y'all be ready to kick people out of the whole family, out of the house, but then you just tell the girls in your family, don't go around the cousin because he weird.
Facts. All right. Well, that is all that I have for Hot Topics today. And you said you didn't have anything left. So let's go ahead and jump into the relationship topics for this week.
Alrighty. I guess my first one would be, have you ever waited around for a man to choose you? And when I say choose, meaning is y'all like boyfriend and girlfriend dating and you're waiting on like proposal and all that stuff.
My response to that is no. No. I mean, listen, I'm not going to knock people for living their lives differently or however they want to live them. But I'm not one of those people who agree with like waiting around for like 10, 15, 20 years with somebody. At that point, shit, we already married. Like, for me, it's like because we've talked about it here on this show, everything from, deal breakers and all that like that. So if I have a strict set of like deal breakers and things that are important to me as far as relationships, so if marriage is something that I want, I'm not going to sit around and hope that I can change somebody's mind if it's not something that they want. What about yourself?
I have. I was younger, just put that out there. And it was like on and off for like 10 years. So, yeah. And then finally he just got married. So, yeah. But I did, and I was like, okay, if I do this, if I be this type of person, then he'll choose me. And yeah, that just didn't work out. So after that, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit again, ever. But yeah, it was really weird because even like, and the crazy thing about it is, he didn't even tell me he was getting married. His wedding invitation came to my house. And I was like, why you didn't tell me you was getting married? And he was like, oh, I still wanted us to remain good friends. How, Sway? How we gonna remain good friends?
Oh.
So yeah, so after that, I was like, listen, if we date, you might got a good 2 years, maybe. And I'm just kind of like, you know what, I gotta go.
That's what matters. You learn from it.
Yeah. But Jesus, that was a long time. Oh.
All right. What's question number 2?
Number 2 is, when you have a moment where loneliness hits you like a ton of bricks, what do you do?
Make bad decisions. Listen, I'm real with myself, man. I make bad decisions. Hence why I try to find as much as I can to fulfill myself in my life so that I don't have those periods of loneliness, because child, those are the times when I've done in my life that I've done the most stupidest, dumb shit ever. Like, I look back at it and I'm like, what the were you thinking? Like, that was stupid. You knew it was stupid when you did it. Like, so yeah. Make horrible decisions for my life.
So you sent that text message?
Oh,
like, don't send that text message. Don't do it.
See? Yes. I have made those dumb decisions. Send it. Yes. What about yourself?
I would say for me, it's probably like travel. Even if it's just like a short trip, like 3 hours away. It's like, okay, I gotta go somewhere. Driving, like taking a drive. I think that's like when I like hung around with my nieces and nephews the most, because it's like they take up all of this time, all of this energy. So yeah.
See, you're so much more productive than I.
Listen, because like, oh, child. No, because I saw, like, when I think back, I'm like, man, was I dead fucking gone? Like, one of my exes I used to talk to, I just looked at it and I was like, fuck. I was like, I can't believe I did this shit. Like, what the hell are you thinking about? So yeah, I was like, yeah. So after, like, I became more aware, like, okay, you're not in a good headspace, and not so much just with loneliness, but that was like a lesson. It was like, don't ever do this shit again. So, yeah.
Definitely. I hear you. And we obviously want to hear from you guys, so make sure that you hit the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. Go to the little space where it says to send us an email, and, let us know what you think as far as the relationship topics this week, or any of the hot topics that we've discussed or that you guys want to see us discuss in the future. And yeah, that's all we have for relationships. Any new music, TV, books, anything like that?
So I started watching Handmaid's Tales or Tale, and I know my mom watch it, and I have a couple other friends that watch it, and I saw it, like, I picked up like on probably about 10 minutes one day at my mom's house, and I was like, this shit is gruesome. I'm not watching this. But I started watching it, and it's still gruesome. A lot of what the fuck moments. Yeah, but I'm totally like into it now. I'm like, so when I get to with this season, when does season 4 come out? So So I'm almost done with season 3, which I'm like kind of sucky because I'm like, I know no recording is going on right now because of Corona and all that. So yeah, that's one thing. I don't think nothing for movies and nothing for books. I feel so bad this year because it's like I think I'd have probably started like 4 books and that's it. I have not finished one.
I'm so preoccupied with just trying to deal with this pandemic and all of the stuff that's going on that reading has just been so far down on my list.
Yeah. And it was like that was one of my relaxation things. It's like now I just need to sleep.
So I guess for me, as far as obviously no books, movies, I don't think I've watched any new movies yet either. For TV, I talked about it last week, but I checked out Love Victor on Hulu. Super enjoyed it. I liked it as much as the Love Simon movie, if not more than Love Simon, because I just enjoyed it in the format of like a series. I hope it gets a second season because I want to see where it goes from there. My only critique of it is that, well, I have 2 critiques. My 2 critiques are that I really was hoping that they would explore the idea of sexuality being a spectrum instead of just making him be gay. I really thought they were going to go the route of either having him be bisexual or pansexual, because I really, really loved the dynamic of the relationship that he had with the young woman and how that was allowing him to think, well, maybe I'm not gay, I'm just like bi or, pansexual. And he was just like doing all this different research. So I thought that they were going to go that route instead, which leads me to my second critique, which was the ending where he ultimately does decide that he is gay. And instead of him, like, he was so good about, not hurting people or trying not to hurt people or whatever like that. But the young woman that he was with, at the end, he ends up kissing a boy before he breaks up with her or tells her that he's gay. So that was my only 2 critiques. I wish, cause to me that was like a stereotypical trope, like, oh, okay, instead of him being able to confront the situation and telling her beforehand, it gets kind of exposed and her seeing him kiss, you know what I mean? Like, that was like stereotypical. I would have preferred them to have the conversation. But nonetheless, a really good show for those out there if you want to check it out. It was really interesting. It was also good to see it, because typically we see it from a white perspective. It was definitely good to see, some color in there. He's Hispanic. He comes from a very conservative Latinx family. So it was definitely something different and something better, something that can really educate you and really kind of get you to see, different viewpoints and different things that occur in life. So I enjoyed it. Definitely a good watch too if you just want to sit and watch something while you're in the house bored. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I did check out the order, and so that's going to be in my nerd moment for this week. Anything else for you?
There's nothing else for me.
All right, so then I'm going to jump to my favorite moment of the show, the nerd moment of the week. This week, I am first going to talk about the PS5, the PlayStation 5. It's scheduled to be released this holiday season, Q4, either between October and y'all know the holidays when everybody gonna be out shopping for Christmas gifts and all of that. It will have VR, so that's a plus. They are saying right now, because the price hasn't been put out, but they're saying that the price is probably gonna land between $450 and $499. So I mean, the PS4 was what, like, when it first came out, it was like $399, so about $400. Yeah, they expect with all the kind of the new gimmicks and things like that they've added to it, that they'll expect it to jump about $100. So about $499, so basically $500. The graphics look amazing. I don't know if you saw the commercial with the Spider-Verse graphics. Come on, like, it looked so good. I'm excited about it. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it right off the bat. I'm hoping my brother buys it. So I can play. But yeah. Needless to say, but I'm excited for it. I want to see, and it's coming with so many games that just like it's just got me excited. So I'm excited about that. And also I watched, as I said last week, I watched the second season of The Order. My grade for it is I'd give it a B. Coming off it was definitely better than the first season, but I didn't like a lot of the tropes were like boring. And I really wished I wanted to see some more color in there. Not gonna lie to you. You guys know how I feel about sci-fi and fantasy shows. I really want them to start including more people of color, especially when they're dealing like with witches and warlocks and werewolves and stuff like that. Like I want to see more people of color involved in it. I'll probably give a more in-depth kind of review because I don't want to give too many spoilers as far as the season is concerned. So maybe I'll do like a blog post or something, or a blog post to give more in-depth review. I definitely give it a B+. It was better than the first season. I will say that. I did enjoy it. I was able to get through it pretty quickly. If you want to check it out on Netflix, by all means, go on and check out The Order Season 2. And that is all I have for the Nerd Moment of the Week. I guess that's it. That's all we have for the show this week. Per usual, we want to thank you guys for listening, tuning in with us. I'm working on our merch, so yay. We should have merch coming soon. I just got to update the site and everything like that to get, because, we want to get the merchandise out there and have all the guys be able to order and everything get shipped properly and everything like that. So that's taking some time with the pandemic, but hopefully I can get that updated soon. But thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week, or talk to you guys next week. Yeah. Bye, guys.